Ladies and gentlemen, such a distinct honor today to present to you, Your Excellency, the Vice President of Liberia. My name is George Chekos. I have served for many years as Dean of the Boakai College of Business at Drexel University, but right now I serve as the Chairman of the Board of the Global Interdependence Council under the supervision, I would say, of our wonderful Executive Director, Ben Gregg. We are very happy to have a distinguished board. Stan has been a member of the board for many years, and he brought to our attention that by coincidence, the Vice President of Liberia will be visiting us, and we grabbed the opportunity as an organization that really fosters the international dialogue, peace, and international economics matters to have the opportunity within a very short notice to gather some people and have the opportunity to hear from His Excellency, the Vice President of Liberia. Let me also say that we are very thankful to Drexel University's international programs, and especially Daniela Ascarelli, who is here with us, who has hosted this event here at Drexel in this magnificent building. Perhaps some of you might not know, Drexel University was established in 1892 by a philanthropist and financier, Anthony J. Drexel, who eventually, at that period of time, at the beginning of the 1900s, became so influential that along with Mr. J.P. Morgan, they established the Morgan and the Wall Street developments that we are aware of today. But this is the original part of the original building, and he's been renovated, and I hope you are as excited as I am every time I visit this building. But without any additional information other than to express once again my thank you to the international programs that we have at Drexel, where we foster educational collaborations with exchange students as well as with the collaborations with other universities, and without them we were not able to have this event today. I would like to go and be very brief to introduce His Excellency, because he has a list of accomplishments that will take at least an hour and a half for me to present you. But if you bear with me, I would like to read some of his accomplishments, and you will agree with me that this indicate or show the character of a man who has been not only patriotic, but who has fought so hard to make sure that his country retains or maintains peace, and at the same time has a very nice balance in economic development, something that is needed in every country in the African continent. So he's really a public-spirited patriot and dedicated public servant. He served his country and people diligently for so many years. He was born in a very isolated, I must say, and very remote city of Wasonga. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it correctly, but always he said that it doesn't matter where you're coming from, but where you are hidden. And this is true because with humble beginnings, this is where he is now, an outstanding leader, an individual who contributed so much to the development of his country. He has been elected as running mate to Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf in the 2005 general and presidential elections on the Unity Party ticket. And Ellen Johnson Sirleaf also was awarded the Nobel Prize later on. During the 2011 presidential election, at that time, Ambassador Boakai was again elected by Her Excellency. He is the president of the Liberian Senate, and he presides on the activities of the Senate. He performed supervisory functions over a number of institutions and agencies, including the Liberia National Lotteries, the Liberia Marketing Association, the Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment, and the National Commission on Disarmament, Demobilization, Resettlement, and Reintegration. The Honorable Boakai has served his country as resident manager of Liberia Produce Marketing Corporation with a very rich experience in managing different organizations. He was a managing director of the Liberia Produce Marketing Corporation between 80 and 82, and managing director of the Liberia, very important organization, Petroleum Refining Corporation in 1992, and also served his country as a Minister of Agriculture from 1983 to 85. He has a diverse experience working with many boards in Liberia. He has served as a member and chairman of many boards, including the chairman of Liberia Finance and Trust Corporation, chairman of the board of Star Radio, member of the board of LOIC, and the board of the Liberia Baptist Theological Seminary. He is a founding member of Bethesda Christian Mission and founding organizer of Africa Methodist Episcopal University, and he has been for numerous years involved with YMCA and president of the Monrovia Rotary Club. Even though he is not a graduate of Drexel University, he has a bachelor's degree in business administration from Liberia and advanced management certificate from Ghana. He speaks English and reads and writes the local dialects. On a personal basis, his honorable Vice President. He has been happily married since 1972, and he has 3 sons and 1 daughter. Let me also say that there are so many other accomplishments that I apologize I have omitted in light of the limited time that we will have the opportunity to share his thoughts and his views with him, and also we hope we will have the opportunity to see him and interact with him personally. So it's with a great honor and pleasure I would like at this time to introduce also to you Kevin Dow, who serves as a Chief Operating Officer of the Mayor's Office here in Philadelphia, who on behalf of the Mayor of Philadelphia would like to present something to Your Excellency.
And I really thought he was going to go right to you, Vice President, and so I am honored to get up here before you after your bio was written and read, because I am humbled by the work that you have achieved in a lifespan that you have endured. And congratulations on, what, 40-odd years of marriage that I know. I'm working on 6, and I'm like, look, I got to respect that amount of time. I'm going to take a few moments to just say thank you on behalf of the Mayor of Philadelphia, Michael A. Nutter. He wished he could be here. He is traveling today. We are trying to close out our budget this year, and he has some significant responsibilities to make sure he does that. And so I was asked to come and represent him and the city of Philadelphia in this wonderful moment and to honor you as you are visiting this great city, and we appreciate that. I want to first say thank you to George, and thank you to the Global Interdependence Center and to Drexel University for hosting us here. It is our pleasure to come here and welcome you here in their behalf, and so we appreciate them participating in that regard. And Stanley Stroller, thank you for the invitation, and thank you for all that you do for the city of Philadelphia and the international trade development that we do here. It is important that we have good people like Stanley working in communities to ensure that everyone has an equal opportunity to the prosperity that this country and this city has to offer, and we appreciate all of that work. I do have a slight thing for you, but I want to mention, you mentioned this building, and you know, we talk about trade and we talk about economic development, and this was indeed one of the Drexel University's original building, but even before that, it was a center of trade for the whole entire country. As you know, Philadelphia was one of the original founding cities, and right here across, we're right next door to a river. This building and this intersection here served as the primary point of commerce into colonial America and out of colonial America. At that time, in the early 1600s, this was the toll bridge from what was colonial America across the river to what was the rest of Western Philadelphia out here, which was at that time the far, far suburbs. It was a toll road that was Lancaster that took you out to the west. There was access to Germantown Avenue, and then there was a road down to the south, which is now Baltimore Avenue and Woodland Avenue. And this was the focal point for people to move back and forth into the trade. And it's good that we remember our history, because as we talk today about the economic opportunities that we have available to us, if we can pull from our history, learn from it, take the mistakes and don't do them again, but take the successes and repeat them, we can move forward as a united front and be prosperous for everybody here. So I just wanted to think I'd mention that. And also on behalf of the city of Philadelphia, we rarely give these out. This is my first time, so this is indeed the highest honor for the city of Philadelphia. It is represented by the Liberty Bell, which I hope that you have an opportunity to visit. And I would like to say it's life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And pursuit of happiness, and this is my addition to it, is in prosperity in business and economic trade. And make sure that we create wealth for our individual selves and our family. So on behalf of the city of Philadelphia, I present this Liberty Bell to you on your visit to us today. Thank you very, very much. Step back, and when we invite some folks over to us, move over here. Ben, I'm a professional photographer taking.
Ambassador selected, please.
It does work.
This camera right here real quick, if you would. I can't hear my smiles, come on.
All right, anybody else? Good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's a distinct honor to have the opportunity to introduce to you His Excellency Joseph Boakai, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you very much. I see a lot of faces of people who have to take back to Liberia. The Honorable Representative, the Mayor of the City of Philadelphia, Councilman Jenny, this was a program, and the Chairman, Dr. George P. Josepko, of the Global Independence Center, the state, county, other municipal officials present here, the illustrious chairman of the Mayor's Commission on African and Caribbean Immigrant Affairs, Honorable Stanley L. Stoughton, the President Dan K. Dennis, and the leadership of the Liberian Association of Pennsylvania, our own ambassador, the faculty, members of the Drexel University, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I should start off here today by applauding the thoughtfulness that inspired the hosting of this function, a function that focuses on exploring avenues for the mobilization of the needed resources, rehabilitating and reforming education in Liberia, as well as the enhancement of the overall socio-economic security enhancement of Liberia. Let me say, with much gratitude on behalf of the Liberian nation and the people, a big thank you to the leadership of this beautiful city, the governor, and the state executive for their great hospitality they have accorded us and our citizens for the past several decades. And in this light, let me ask you all to just stand and join me to observe a moment of silence in revered memory of the 6 persons who lost their lives in the building demolition mishap a couple of weeks ago. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Amen. Please take your seat. Let me also extend a special thanks to you, Mayor's Commission, Chairman Strutter, for an equally thoughtful invitation extended us to visit this historically supportive city. We should also acknowledge with deep gratitude the manifold support services to Liberian causes that have come from the premier think tank on trade and monetary policy, the Global Interdependence Center. We want to thank you, Dr. Sesko. We remain optimistic that this visit will serve as a catalyst for the furtherance of our many years of friendship and the exploration of new frontiers that will bring shared positive dividends for our two people. Let me though see this opportune moment to extend to you all assembled here for this noble purpose, learned scholars, corporate luminaries, educators, businessmen and women, among others, warmest felicitations and deep gratitude from Our Excellency President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the first female president of Africa, the government and people of Liberia, for this great level of interest you continue to show in our country. It should come as no surprise to you that many Liberians visiting or resettling home tell us moving stories of their sojourn in this beautiful and historic city. They indeed cherish their long, fulfilling, and productive relationship with Philadelphia. This largely accounts for why we did not need a second opinion to gleefully welcome the gesture and accept your invitation. Indeed, I'm very much touched by this visit to Philadelphia in my official capacity. As I set out for the visit, the feeling dawned upon me that we were headed here to fetch from the foundation of inspiration, that visionary fountain from which the towering social activists, philanthropists, and anti-racial personality, the Reverend Leon H. Sullivan, drank, energizing him into establishing the Opportunities Industrialization Centers, OIC of America, in an abandoned jailhouse in North Philadelphia nearly half a century ago in 1964. I once served on the board of the Liberia branch of the OIC and had a personal encounter with Dr. Sullivan to establish a branch in my own community in Liberia. I'm a living witness to the profundity of the positive impact OIC projects have made on our young people in Liberia. Candidly put, it is just phenomenal. Such main investments are what we create, altruistic investments that will help empower by building capacity through academic and vocational training, job creation so as to alleviate the colossal stress engendered by the multitudes of unemployed youth in our communities. This visit we may hear in Delaware Valley and similar orders have paid to other parts of this beautiful country, the Midwest, the South, and even in New England, takes an added significance on the leg, especially considering the fact that our country just embarked upon the scrupulously crafted agenda for transformation. Liberia's Vision 2030, launched at the close of last year, set us an irreversible trajectory, propelled by our collective resolve to lift our people onto loftier heights. The realization of this vision, inevitably, will be greatly helped by the healthy and productive partnership especially from capable, friendly, and interested sources as here in Philadelphia. We are set out and about to serve of listening ears and embracing hearts that we can translate into engagements that bolster efforts to put our devastating impact on our Civil War wrought upon us and behind us. We aim here to nudge increased outside entry into productive areas in the various sectors of our economy. This, we have no doubt, will go to not only helping to fuel Liberia's transformation into a wealth-generating economy, creating a beacon of hope for all Liberians, but also registering our high results to those who step forward to take on the bait. Our government sees limitless possibilities in the expansion and the deepening in our long-term enduring relations with the United States of America, spanning the areas of trade, education, public safety, and economics. As such, we landed here today to undertake a lineup of interactions with you, officials and personalities, educational institutions, as well as with our own people residing in this area to explore the horizon for broadening of our relations. As we will be, as apprising interested parties, that we will be opportune to meet. Liberia donors are deliberately thrown wide open our doors. We have enacted business laws that are particularly friendly to foreign investment, bilateral cooperation, as well as people-to-people interventions that impact lives. In addressing you today, I follow the footsteps of a long list of other compatriots who have mounted podiums before gatherings of goodwill in this tri-state region. This should not just underscore our concern for the hugely sizable Liberian population that has found here a home away from home, also the depth of optimism for the potential that this city and its environs hold for spurring the expansion of vistas of more productive cooperation between our two nations. In the realm of reforming and enhancing Liberia's education system, the coterie of universities in this region is already busy at work. We were greatly moved by the unanimous consent among various institutions in this area to fashion a memorandum of understanding establishing framework for partnership, cooperation, and linkages that will bolster our crusade to uplift our education sector. I cannot but only therefore make a passionate pitch to the Philadelphia International Collaborative Group for more expeditious action on finalizing the MOU so that essential work can kick off. We accord primacy to the area of education in our discourses during this visit because of the sad state into which our Civil War pushed it. The consequences of carnage visited upon our country was profound. A whole generation emerged that had seen no shade of molding or training that could have prepared them for the challenges presented by life. We inherited a massive army of young people that only knew violence as a fictitious tool that needed to be wielded to access exigencies to existence and even amass materials that provided them luxury. In their own inverted world of reality, earning meant inflicting pain upon others as a means of transferring ownership of belongings. In that chaotic nature of state of affairs in which they grew up, This population of young people could not see the relevance of education training. Their orientation molded them that what was simply to prey on vulnerable while experiencing no remorse or empathy. This depth of massive disorientation with the attendant degradation of a psychosocial state of being bore a more profound and long-lasting negative imprint on the minds of those who we now expect to take on the mantle of statecraft in years to come. This is a concern that has continued to propel us into engaging anyone who can lend us listening ears as we do here today. And I am sure this concern has continued to stir many well-meaning individuals who care about Liberia and its people. And I can see a lot of them among you. This is a challenge that we have to confront if we are to secure a future for our country. It is our thinking that mutually reinforcing linkages between academia, private industry, and government in a developing country such as ours bear the high potential of unearthing innovative ways that means through which we can more decisively confront the situation at hand. We therefore look forward to an exciting visit, a visit that will bring us in contact with educators, public safety officials, traders, investors, and community organizations. Many Liberians wonder and often question the benefits of our long years of friendship with the United States of America. Our alliance and collaboration go back as far back as a century and a half. In fact, the United States dollar is legal tender in Liberia. American English is the official language. Our citizens and government officials have more than 100 years been educated in the United States. Our flag looks the same as yours, and the formation of Liberia is inextricably linked to the United States of America. In spite of all the decades of kinship and similarities, there is very little American investment in Liberia to be boasted of. And sometimes people wonder why the Chinese, why not the Americans? Many, this forum shaped the nucleus of a new breed of American business men and women that will herald a new dawn of American investment interest in Liberia. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me close by again registering our thanks for all the courtesies you have so generously placed at our disposal and your great care for Liberia. It is my confident hope that sooner rather than later, we'll be receiving some of you in Monrovia, that capital city of ours, named after your country's 5th President, James Monroe. The invitation is yours to visit us, to afford you the vantage view of the situation firsthand, and mingle with our profoundly grateful Liberian populace on the other side of the Atlantic. Such visit should afford you the opportunities to see and experience for yourself some of the topical areas we will have the occasion to explore with you here the next couple of days. To those of you who may be interested in investment in Liberia, in education, my question as usual is, what are you waiting for? Thank you, and God bless you.
Excellency, we're going to ask if you will take a few questions and answers, if you will. I would like to first of all invite Mr. Kevin Dole to come up. Mr. Kevin Dole is a member of a regional organization called SMART, and he is the collaborative you mentioned in your remarks, is the Philadelphia collaborative that included Drexel University, Lincoln University, Cheney University, and other institutions in the Philadelphia area that have put together this collaborative to work on the rehabilitation of the education system in Liberia. So we're working hard. We're getting together. Some of those people that are engaged in that are here in this room with us. SMART is engaged in technology and has done a fantastic job. Kevin has been joining us in those meetings also. So Kevin, let me introduce you. Thank you very much. Kevin Doyle from SMART. Thank you.
Thank you. And welcome, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Ambassador, and delegation. On behalf of the SMART, which stands for Strengthening the Mid-Atlantic Region for Tomorrow, which is a 4-state congressional caucus, including New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware, to foster science and technology advocacy among the 600 universities in the 4-state region, the 56 federal agencies, and the state governments, all to work together with major industry to enhance economic development and workforce development in the region and with partners that have international interests. And the way SMART got to Liberia is through relationships with our major industry partners, including Rutgers University, Stan's organization, Lincoln, Cheney universities, and then also our industry partners like the 3900 Group and a number of other institutions. And so we have watched over the years and seen Liberia come out of the civil war there and continually to advance. And I was a little jealous when President Sirleaf was at the UN meeting Bono, who is obviously a well-known activist. And so on behalf of the SMART Congressional Caucus and Senator Menendez's office, who is represented here, I'd like to present to you the 2013 International Award.
Sir.
George, you want to come up here and join us for this photo,
Yes,
please?
George, Stan, you can hop in.
George, Ben,
Once. Ambassador, Mr. Ambassador. We have one more, Kevin.
This camera right here. One more coming in.
let's see the ladies.
Now we got it. Look at this right here. And
Thank you very much.
Let me just say thank you, and I forgot to mention our Minister of Finance, the graduate of the business college here.
That's right. Thank you very much. We're going to ask His Excellency to come back. If it's okay, we take some. You will take some questions and answers.
Oh yes.
Okay, please. You want to handle this part? Do you have any questions for His Excellency? Let me just say that he mentioned inviting you all. I'd like to point out that Ms. Gurley, the Honorable Gurley T. Gibson, is in the back. She is the U.S. Trade Representative for Liberia, headquartered at 1520 Walnut Street on the 5th floor. So if you want to sign up, see her before you go. The trip is departing to Liberia July 8th to the 15th. It's a business, trade and business forum. His Excellency will be hosting us and will be a part of that forum. So, you know, spaces are filling up fast. We're not going to wait for you. We're going to go. But we need you to sign up so you make sure you see Ms. Gibson. I also want to recognize, again, in addition to recognizing His Excellency Ambassador Salente, who is here, I want to recognize a few other guests too. This is Dr. Samuel Corte. He is the chairman of the board of the African Caribbean Business Council for the city of Philadelphia. And he's getting ready to start a major project with us here with the Lincoln University. We'll be at Lincoln University tomorrow. So, Doctor, thank you for that. Mr. David Scott and Dr. Darlene Thompson. Mr. Scott is a security expert, spent some time in Liberia here, and Dr. Darlene Thompson is the member of our commission, and she's the one that organized some of the relief activities from the school district of Philadelphia to Liberia, several containers of furniture, supplies, and equipment. And she's still working on that. She's helped us to organize a visit at the school district of Philadelphia this afternoon also. I had I'm 72 years old, Excellency, and I had a great affinity for older people. But Reverend Dr. John Jallo here owns an organization called the Agape Center. And I went out there, my wife and I went out there several years ago to celebrate senior Liberians. It was a fantastic experience. I ate a lot of fufu and everything. I had a great time. But now I told him to be careful because you got to keep a spot for me now that I'm 72. But I pointed him out because I wanted you to meet some of the people here in Philadelphia that are Liberians and help make a significant contribution to our city. And I would be remiss if I didn't also sing out publicly my dear friend and brother, Mr. Don Dennis, who's the president of the Liberian Association in Philadelphia, and he's been us join. I wanted to also just introduce you briefly to Barbara Simmons. Barbara Simmons is a former dean at Cheney University. She met the president of Thompson University, and she got converted in 15 minutes. And you know she's been living in Liberia for now. She's now a distinguished professor of international education at UMVH Thompson University in Liberia, and she's here. So I want to thank you, Barbara. Thank you very much. And also I wanted you to meet one of my dear friends and partners. He's on this trade mission, Mr. Tommy Thompson. Tommy is formerly the Director of Economic Development for Prince George's County, formerly the Chief Finance Officer for the Resolution Trust Corporation, and now he is in the private sector with us, and he's a Managing Director of a part of our business with the Federal Reserve Bank and the FDIC in the finance. So I know you don't want you to start this, they say you're going to mess up, and I do want to have you meet Ben. Ben Craig is the Executive Director. He's the Chief Executive Officer of our organization, handles the day-to-day activities of the Global Interdependence Center. So I want to thank you, Ben, for helping us put it together, but you can see how wonderful this is. Mm-hmm. One of my children that happens to be a Liberian, Miss Uni Richards, she is Miss Orr Richards' daughter, but Uni is the Executive Director of the African Family Health Organization. And for many African, Caribbean people in our city and others that don't have access to health care, don't have insurance, her organizations work with over 1,000 people a year here, helping them get health care, get access to health care. So let me stop there and say thank you all for coming. This guy here who's on your staff, Anthony Kesley, I don't know about him. He's really in Philadelphia. He's really in Philadelphia, but I'm gonna check your card on the way out. But Anthony, we want to thank you publicly for being with us and helping bring the rest of you. I'm going to stop and please, he's willing to take several questions if you like. Please.
Well, thank you very much. Dave Jala is one of those who ran away from me and just finding him. Welcome, Dave. There. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. I have a question. Can you speak to specific investment opportunities available in Liberia?
Pardon? Investment?
So, specifically to particular investment.
Well, I'm sure we normally travel with some our investment documents. I don't know whether we brought them this time. But Liberia is open for a lot of things. It's a small country, but blessed with a lot of resources in the mining area, diamond, gold. In fact, there are oil opportunities, so you find Chevron and Adako, ExxonMobil, and African Petroleum, all of them are there. I know they wouldn't have been there if they didn't smell something. And also in the agriculture area, vast land, we have the largest West African forest reserve. 45% of the forest of West Africa is in Liberia. She came from Cape Town, and by the time she flies over 20 minutes from Harper, she's over the forest. It's just one area. So whether it's in the fishing area, you name it, Liberia has excellent opportunities. We've been putting together our laws to be able to provide those incentives for investors.
Yes.
I'm happy to meet you again, Your Excellency. My name is John Fellow. I'm the Senior Program Manager for ACL. ACL is the Aid for Children in Liberia. When we got the invitation to come here, I was so glad that I was going to meet you again. Here I have the President, Yasa, and Amos Weeford is a member of the Board of Directors. of our organization. We're based in Northeast Philadelphia. Mr. Vice President, I have a question that relates to children. That's also related to trade and investment. The African Growth Opportunity Act, I'm sure you're aware of it,
Sure.
AGOA, intends that the largest possible number of sub-Saharan African countries are able to take advantage of this act. President Clinton issued a proclamation in the year 2000 designating countries to utilize this act and to be eligible, Liberia being one of them. I know I was in Liberia most recently, and I know the kind of progress that the government has made, and I'm proud of that. And I want to say thank you, and thank you to Her Excellency, the President, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Particularly, what has the government of Liberia done, or how much effort has been made to eliminate child labor practices, susceptibility to exploitation and abuse, and to ensure that every Liberian child has access to opportunity for education. Looking at the trade and investment effort that's being made in Liberia right now, reconstruction, children should be a part of the center of whatever reconstruction effort we are making in that beautiful country of ours. Thank you.
Well, let me say that when this government was started in 2006, one of the first things that we did was to make primary education free. And we're going up to junior high. As you know, we are resource constrained. This country, Liberia, I always say to people elsewhere that it is true that many countries in Africa experience war, but very few countries, if any, experience the infrastructure damage that Liberia experienced. I don't see any country where their hydro plant was blown up, the water system, the street lights became enemies, and so you know the enormity of problems we have in trying to reactivate many of those things that are essential. It makes us less competitive. So we are trying. And again, you know, you need resources to do that. We're fortunate to work hard to wipe out $4.9 billion of outstanding debts. But you just said, and one of the very few Liberians that will say that you saw progress. Thank you for that. So we are moving to that, but it is not as easy. Liberia, primary efforts now have been on gender issues and children. So we gradually trying to move there. We haven't taken advantage of the AGOA because when you have to generate electricity by the use of fuel-powered engines, I mean, you know how costly it is to produce. So we're trying to work on the hydro. Until we get there, it's going to be very expensive to produce electricity and take advantage of some of the things you talk about.
Take one more question, please. Right here. Kevin.
Mr. Vice President, we've been hearing, the Smart Congressional Caucus has been hearing the concerns and the issues being resource constrained for your country. And what we have done as a caucus has been working through some of our university partners to help develop both infrastructure projects in Liberia through working with the World Bank and also working through our educational partners, Rutgers University, Lincoln University, and the University of Liberia, Connecticut University, to put together curriculum surrounded by or enhancing project development. So for every infrastructure energy project that's being developed, we're working to support infrastructure in education so that there's the technical acumen to be able to support all the different projects that are going on. And so that's something that the Smart Caucus is very aware of. And just by making the Liberian educational system aware of the projects and allowing them to participate and using the resources of the caucus from the 600 universities, it makes it possible to help lift up all the students. So I just wanted to make you aware that these things are actively happening in Liberia and being developed in conjunction with the World Bank. The caucus will be completing the World Bank Liberian Higher Education Strategy Plan, which is the phase 2, which we've made that commitment to complete that and finance that, those studies and improvements. So I just want to say thank you again and that you're aware of that.
Well, thank you very much. One of the, I'm glad that she is here with us. I flew to Harper a couple of weeks before I came, and I was very impressed with what they are doing in that remote part of the country. It is a university that is actually trying to step out to challenge students, to produce quality students. And that reminds me of a few weeks ago as I listened to the BBC talking about the German economy and how it's propelled by quality of institutions and how the students research has helped Germany. Liberia education needs to be focused towards that, to produce the quality of students. You go to our institutions today, almost 60% or 80% of the students doing business. I don't think our country will progress fast if we just don't go into the sciences and the areas that will challenge the minds of our people and make them innovative. So these are the areas we're looking into. We need quality instructors. We need the facilities to challenge the minds of our young people. That's where we want to move. So thank you very much for the effort you're making. Does actually complement what we're thinking about.
Thank you very much. Please give the next a big hand. Thank you. I wanted to say in closing a couple of things. One of the big things I'm hopeful that this collaboration we have with Drexel University, Lincoln University, and Cheney will help give the incentive for these institutions to give the Republic of Liberia some scholarships so they can fill in these gaps. And Kevin, these universities and things, that's one of the very concrete things we can talk about in this collaborative to see under your council, Excellency, how we can move that forward when you leave. I don't want you to just come and have a good visit, get some mustard pretzels instead. We want you to know that we want to work on something very substantive, and Drexel University is already part of this collaborative. Dr. Julie Mustaf, who's the global provost here, Barbara, before she left to go to Monrovia, had Cheney engaged. So we do have a structure moving forward so that we can begin talking about something very concrete that will benefit the people of Liberia as they're coming here. The MOU that we have drafted, we haven't finalized the language on, was to discuss what gaps exist, because I know you have lots of universities and programs there, what gaps exist based upon what we can fill in our collaborative here. So we are working towards that. And I want to thank Drexel, Cheney, and Lincoln, and we'll be at Lincoln tomorrow to continue this discussion. And Kevin, it'd be good for you to be here also. I wanted to say for AGOA, and as is actually pointed out, we haven't been able to get Liberia engaged as much as we should. But we here have work to do with AGOA, because to some degree, AGOA have actually failed Africa. The big beneficiaries of AGOA have been the oil companies, the mining companies, but the small farmers, the guys that produce juice, and they don't benefit. So right now, in the Congress, we are considering with Congresswoman Karen Bass from California, she's the Democratic chair of the Committee on Africa, Global Health, and International Institutions, a reauthorization of AGOA to include several new things. Opportunities for agricultural products from Africa to come into the United States. Secondly, to have capital in the program. AGOA was set up, there was no capital, so even U.S. businesses wanting to trade with Africa, this is difficulty. So we're trying to do those things, get those things in this new legislation, and I'm encouraging all of you, wherever you live across the United States, call your congressman or senator, let them know you're interested, because they won't, we can't change it. They say all politics are local. That's in the States. I don't know about Liberia, but all politics is local. So you need to call your congressman, Congressman Chaka Fatai, who's in this district. He's the 4th ranking member on Appropriations Committee in the House of Representatives, okay? Senator Bob Casey, the senior member in the Senate. So we have a lot of juice here, we just not haven't used it properly. If you're in this area, in the Philadelphia area, so we need to be on it, and that's some of the stuff you're gonna hear us talking about going forward with respect to AGOA. With respect to the children, we need the investment to help the jobs in the country, whether it's roads, bridges, building. His Excellency on the board of OIC. OIC here in Philadelphia started in 1964. It's how many of us in the early 60s even got a job. And to have a skilled job as a carpenter, a bricklayer, all those things started with programs like OIC, and we have one. There used to be many in Liberia, we have one, but we're now trying to redo this and help to build skills. And young people in particular. And so we have a lot we can work on together, and I would encourage all of you to be a part of this movement to help in rehabilitation of the economy of Liberia, also to help provide jobs and scholarships so we can do this. So my closing remarks is thank all of you for being here. I want to thank His Excellency publicly for taking time from his schedule to be here, and also Ambassador Salente. He's been here several times, and I haven't been able to appreciate you visit because you've always been busy. Every time you come, you don't want to go. But we want you to know that we appreciate you and thank you for being with us. Of course, Ms. Bishop, Gurley Gibson, and Anthony, we appreciate all of you. We'll continue to work with you, and I'm sure that we'll work together to make this a very, very successful visit. This time, Excellency, I promise you there will be some follow-up. You're not going to go back and say, well, I was with Straughter 2 months ago and nothing happened. It's not going to happen. Barbara, this woman gets on my nerves. She calls me from Harper. Did you do so and so and so and so? So we have a good team here. I want to thank you. Ben, you want to make some closing remarks? Please.
Thanks. I just want to thank you again for coming. And this is the kind of program that GIC likes to do, and we're very opportunistic. So thanks to Stan for including us in this. GIC travels all around the world. We're going to Ghana this summer, in September. So hopefully we can organize a visit in Liberia in the future. Thank you again, Mr. Your Excellency, for coming. Thanks. And we have a reception next door. Thanks.
Thank you.